Hi everybody, good afternoon. I am so glad you are here. I want to thank everybody that joined me this morning for my catalog flip through, and it was so much fun and it made me even more excited to get all my new stuff. So I hope you're as excited as me, and I want to thank everybody who has been placing orders this morning. I so appreciate it, and I bet you are like me, you cannot wait to get your hands on the new stuff. So I thought today, since I don't have the new stuff that wasn't on the pre-order, so when I was going through the catalog this morning with the flip through, hey Jen, my sweetie, so hey sister, look who's here. Jen's here too. So what I was doing was, when I was flipping through, I was realizing, hey, I had never showed certain things. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to combine a little bit of stuff that is still in the book, that was in the book last year, that has carried over. And I'm also going to be using some new stuff. I'm also using stuff from the January to June, because it is still a current catalog. There's stuff in there that's leaving, so you want to make sure that you grab it. Then you can also just convert, because I'm going to be using the little ice cream sprinkles, but we have like new sprinkles, so if you didn't want to do the ice cream ones, you could pick the ones from the brand new catalog instead. But so you could just change it that way if you wanted. All right, hi Rhonda. Okay, so let me flip the phone over and we will get started. All right. So yes, this morning was so much fun. I so enjoyed our little virtual chats or whatever. Okay, so let me turn that, make sure I'm in the group. Oh, and my sister already said, please, hey Barbara, my sister said, go ahead and leave the air conditioner on because it doesn't affect the video. So hopefully that's still good, because it's not I don't think it's 100 yet, but all the birds in the backyard are just kind of standing around like, gee, summer's here. Okay, so let's get started. So what I said was, I'm going to use something that I have never taught before, and they are the cute little mason jar shaker domes. I am so loving the shaker card stuff now, so I'm going to be using those. I also am going to be using the Best Year stamp set. This one came carried over, and it has got such cute sayings. And I mean, it's just so versatile, right? Best year. I mean, exactly. It's got thank you, happy Father's Day. This is a good birthday. Thank you, hey, hello, you did it. Dad, warm wishes, hip hip hooray. The only thing it doesn't have is a Mother's Day, which is funny, right? Because I see happy Father's Day and a dad. So there's not one that really says Mother's Day, except you could totally use this one, right? My mom is the best, so that would totally work for her. And of course, I'm using Jar of Flowers, because that goes with the mason jar shakers and the little mason jar punch. So I'm going to be using that. Let's see what else. So I already mentioned that I'm also going to be using the little ice cream sprinkles. But like I said, you could order, you might already have some sequins on hand. It's totally up to you what you filled your little mason jar with. Okay, so what I've done is I have die cut out some of the Stitched So Sweetly dies. So I have 2 of them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my punch, and I'm just eyeballing it. I don't want it to go clear up, because when you go up it touches. I don't want it to go clear up, but I don't want it too low either. So I'm just letting it kind of touch And then I'm just dropping it down just a teensy tiny bit. All right, so now we have this right here. So why I like to use the same die is because you know you got it lined up, right? Because you're just following your edges. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this here so it's lined up. I'm going to take my Memento because I'm going to be coloring with the blends. I know, surprise! What are those, Diana? You never talk about the Stampin' blends. Haha, too funny. Okay, so I'm going to ink up my jar with my Memento, and then I'm going to stamp it in that hole. Now this is easier said than done when you don't have the phone in the way. So I'm going to hope that that is good. And then drop that off of there. Get off of there. All right. So now we have our little jar. So now we know it's right where it needs to be. So then I can move this away. Then I can finish my jar, meaning I can put my stems. So I'm going to put my little stems. And so I've got my stems. All right, so I'm going to set that aside, keeping it like this, right? Like I want to just make sure I kept this like this. I didn't flip it over because I want to make sure that it stays. So if you're going to make a bunch of these cards, like I have a whole stack of these. I usually, one day I just kind of sit and die cut a lot of shapes and then, hi Elena, and then I can pull from them when I need it. So if you're doing like a whole bunch of these, you would want to keep them together because you might not punch at the same place every time. So if you stacked all your punched ones and your stamped ones, they may not match up. Hey Betsy. Okay, so then ahead of time I stamped, of course I'm using the sunflowers. So I'm just going to scoot this off to the side just a tad. I want this to dry really good. So while it's drying, I'm going to color my sunflowers quickly. So I'm going to be using, oh, you know what I also want to do while it can dry? So these are the cute little shaker domes. They are so cute, aren't they? So what's fun about them is they have, hi Mary, they have an adhesive here and here. All right, but what I want to do is I'm going to take my dark Bermuda Bay and I want it to make it look like there's water in the jar. So I'm going to take my brush side of my Bermuda Bay and I'm just going to color on the inside of my jar. That looks good. All right, then I'm just going to set it aside and let it dry. So while it's drying, now we can color our flowers. All right. So I do miss the mango already, right? It's the first day and I already missed my mango melody. But hey, we will survive. So I'm just going to scoot it down a little bit. And we are going to use the daffodil. So I'm coloring my daffodil just quickly with the light daffodil on my sunflowers. And this one doesn't smell as potent. The So Saffron is so funny because Marcy was the one that brought it to my attention. And it's got more of a stronger smell. All right, so then we have the dark daffodil. So I'm just doing it quickly. That's why I love coloring the flowers because they're very forgiving. Nature is not perfect. So you do not have to be super anal with your flowers. And then I'm going to add a little bit of pumpkin pie to them as well. So then I have my light pumpkin pie, and I'm just going to get just a little bit. I'm just more doing lines. I'm not really coloring it in. I'm just kind of adding just some lines of the pumpkin pie, because if you look at a sunflower, it's got all sorts of colors going on. All right, so by doing my center last, this part right here, I'm not worrying so much that all those colors are getting in there, because I'm going to go over it with my soft suede. All right, so that looks good. All right, then I'm going to take my light soft suede. So yeah, what was the first thing you could not wait to order out of the new catalog? I know for me it was that Impressions in Ink suite. Oh, because it is just gorgeous. Okay, so that was a light soft suede, and then this is the dark. So I'm just going to add a little bit of dark on this side here and in the center, because the sunflowers are dark in the center. Then I'm going to take my, what is this? This is the dark cinnamon cider, and on the opposite side I'm going to add a little cinnamon cider. I love those colors together. It just makes it look like such a natural looking sunflower when you add, you know, those colors together. Okay, so what else do we have while we're coloring? We have Granny Apple Green. So I have my light Granny Apple. So I don't really know what this is, but this always ends up being green when I color this. And this card will sit on my table next to my sunflowers in the studio. I have a hard time giving away my sunflower cards unless I make multiples of them. I'm just bad that way. Okay, so that was Granny Apple the light. And then while I have the light Granny Apple, I'm going to bring this over. This should be plenty dry by now. So I'm going to put light Granny Apple on my stems inside. Very quick. All right. Then we'll go back and forth, back and forth. And now my dark. So yeah, I was telling you that I stayed up till 11. I usually do not stay up that late. Oh my gosh. I used to be able to stay up till like 2 in the morning, and I don't know what's up, but now I get up earlier than I used to, so that's probably what it is. But so I did. I stayed up so I could order before I went to bed. So that was a good thing, but at the same time, like some of the things I had wanted weren't available last night, but then they were this morning, so I put another order in. All right, and then I'm just gonna get some of those lines gone with my Granny Apple again with the light, just to knock down some of those hard edges of the marker. All right, then I'm going to use the brand new Fresh Freesia blends. And I'm so excited for this color. It kind of reminds me of more of a purpley, purple posy. And I loved the purple posy last year. I don't know why I made this one green. That should have been purple. All right. And then the dark. I just love this pop of purple. And then I'm going to get some Pool Party. You have to have a little bit of Pool Party on everything, because I swear Pool Party makes things look vintage. To me, Pool Party is a very shabby, very vintagey blue. And I just love the look of that on there. Okay, so let's see, what else do we have? All right. let me bring over this. So what I'm going to do to this is I want it to look like a jar, right? We've got our, whatchamacallit, our mason jar. So glass is, even though it's clear, there's some color to it. So I'm going to take my light my light gray granite, and I'm just going to add a little bit of gray granite around the edges. Now remember, I colored this, okay? So let me kind of see what it's going to look. So there's going to be like that water there, but there still would be water underneath it. So then I'm going to add some pool party. So I like to add the gray granite and the pool party together because it just looks like so cool. All right, so we have that. I'm gonna put a little bit of gel pen. You know me, I gotta put some gel pen. And I'm just gonna put a couple little dots in the center of my flowers. Okay, we're gonna cut this out. So this is gonna get cut out. All right, so let's kind of get this going before I cut that out. All right, so we have this right here, and it's gonna go on here. So what you're gonna do is we are going to take, get that out of there. We are gonna take this, and that's gonna get stuck on here. So that's why there's adhesive here and here. But before we put it on there, I want to take some of my handy dandy white baker's twine, and you can use whatever color you want. You could use ribbon. It's up to you. All right, so I've got 2 pieces. So I've got 2 pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this, let me peel this off here. So we need to peel this off of here. So now this is sticky, so we're just going to try not to mess with it too awful much. So I've got this, and I'm going to tie this because I want this on the front of my jar. Okay, hang on a minute. Hold on a second. Because I can fix this once it's down. I just kind of want to get it held. All right, so we're just going to cross those 2. Let me get this up so you can see. So I just kind of crossed those 2. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this over. Let me scoot up. So we're going to bring this over. I want to pull these through here, like that. And last time I didn't tie it in a bow, so I might do the same thing. Take that bow off of there, just so it's a smaller. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Don't touch it. It's sticky. Hang on a minute. All right, so last time I didn't tie it, so now I realize why. Because it's a lot easier to pull it through without the bow on it. Okay, so we're going to pull this through. So make sure you can see me. And then we're going to make sure these come out. This goes right on there. So this is stuck to this now. Okay, so now it's stuck on there. So now we can tie our bow. The only exercise I get is tie bow. It is not doing anything for my weight. Let me get this out of there. Come on. My sister, she's probably laughing. She loves it when it messes up on the lives. Okay, so here is those, but we're just going to keep fiddle farting with that. Okay, then we can cut these till they're a little shorter.
cut that, and then we can always trim them again. And I might even still fiddle fart around more with that. Hi, Raquel. Okay, so we have that. All right, so now what we're going to do is we want this to go over top of this. Let me scoot up a little bit so you can see. So we want this to go over top of this. So this is why I said I picked the die, because then you know, right? You know that you're even or not. So but we want to put a little bit of like a shaker card stuff going on. So that's why I'm using these. Now, you can still get these, because I checked, you know, beforehand. So you can still get these. But we do have new ones in the new catalog. I haven't seen them to know what size they are. So I'm just going to lay this here. I messed around this morning, make one, and the other one I did it the opposite way. So I put them in and I put that on top of it, and I found that this was easier to put them in here first. So you're just going to scoot them in there like that. Okay, so now those are in there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take this off. So now we have this, but remember I've got that string there. So what I have to do is we're going to take this, and then we just have to take our scissors and cut and cut. So that peels that off, and then we can peel the bottom off. Okay. Then we will line these up. So we just make sure our die is the same on the bottom and the top. And now you have encased these cute little things, all these little doodads inside. So look at, so now it looks like there's these cute little, my mom is here. Hi, Mom. All right. Were your ears burning? Because I know, tie bow, right? That's the only thing I exercise for. All right. So were your ears burning, Mom? Because I said something about you earlier. So you must have heard that. All right. So let me trim this. So isn't that so cute? Oh. All right. So now we have this in there. Now you didn't have to add the water, but I just love the look that there looks like there's water in there. Okay. So let's go back to our flower. So now I'm going to cut out our beautiful sunflower. Let me get it just a little bit closer so there's not as much to cut around. And then I think Granny was the one that taught me how to cut properly, because she was always cutting stuff out. And I know I've mentioned it before for our school reports and things like that, and she would just cut things out of magazines. And I think she was the one that taught me how, don't move the scissors, you move the paper. And I just always remember that. It also helps if you've got good sharp scissors. But see how I'm not really moving my scissors, I'm just moving the paper. And then you just kind of look ahead so you know like that you have to move whatever which way when you're cutting. It also helps. I'm just stamped on the basic white regular. That is what I choose now when I'm using my blends. I have got to where I like it better than the new basic white thick. It seems to stamp a little crisper, so that also makes it cut out a little bit easier too. And then I just use my thick for my card bases, or if you need a thick layer or something. So give it a try. I still also like to let it sit a little bit, you know, before you immediately start to color. Just let that ink dry really good. All right, so I'm almost done. Nope, your ears were not burning? Oh yes, I said that one of the greetings in this set was perfect for you. You'll just have to rewatch it with maybe a kitten on your lap. My sister and my mom, they live on farms, and they have barn kittens, and I'm so jealous. I keep saying I want one, although, you know, no, we don't want a kitten, but I sure love looking at the pictures, and they're so adorable. All right. Okay, so there we so that's going to go on here. So let me bring the card, whatchamacallit, the card pieces over. So I am using crushed curry. I have, I scooted down so I don't have any room. All right, I want to make sure you can see. So I am using crushed curry as my card base. And where's my bone folder? Here it is. So I'm using crushed curry because I am using this. Oh my God, golly. This is the Hostess. So everybody needs to either book a workshop, and I do the virtual ones. You can do them through Zoom. You can do them through Facebook. Or if you order enough, you can get this for free. So it's like this huge pack of paper. Look at it. So this is the Hostess, and it's called Pattern Party. And you would have to place an order. I suck at math, but I think you'd have to place an order at about 180 because the value, this is a $30 value, but it costs $18 in Hostess reward dollars. And it is this amazing pack of paper. Oh my gosh. There's like black and white on the one side, and then there's these gorgeous colors. Look at that. So I'm like too close. It's like so much paper. It's hitting the phone. And those hearts are upside down. But anyways, it is so gorgeous. Look at that. Look at this. Oh, look at that pretty leopardy paper. And the stripe, this reminds me of, That's a Bad Hat Harry. That Jaws guy. The tent on the beach. So anyways, so I'm using this paper. And it is amazing. So I chose the crushed curry because that was the paper that I was using. All right, so let me get my pieces. So I'm picking the crushed curry. Look how pretty that is. It reminds me of the really, really pretty wallpaper. Hi, Ryan. Hi, Ryan. My hero in regards to getting the Zoom figured out. Okay, so then I'm also wanting to use the black and white, would that be plaid or houndstooth? I don't even know. I'm so bad. It's just beautiful, whatever it is. Okay, so that's going to go on the bottom. And it's like about 2 inches. So I kind of wanted it to look like, you know, you've got your wall here, and then you have your table here. Okay, then we're going to put this on a piece of the basic white. It's just a little lip around, little frame. Raquel, you do. Now remember, you can also use your Hostess, so if you are placing an order to get the stuff, but you can also use your Hostess reward dollars on the starter kit. So there you go. If you've got a big wish list, hint, 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 hint. You need to join my team now. Okay, so this is going to go on here like that. Then on the inside is going to be these pieces. So I'm just going to put some adhesive here. And then this little piece is going to go back here just so that it looks like the front. It complements the front. That goes on the inside. And then I'm not going to stamp anything on the inside because I don't know what I'm going to do with the card. Now, I already told you it's going on my table. Right by my sunflowers. Okay, so that's the inside. Gotta do the inside. And I cut it a little bit smaller so you see more of the crushed curry around the outside. So there's your inside and outside. All right, so now we're going to put this on here. And I'm going to use dimensionals. And these are from the paper pumpkin, because see there it's like a smaller pad. So dimensionals for these. I love dimensionals. Okay, so that's going to go on the front. Flick those pieces off. All right, so I have to stand up so I can see. So that's going to go on here, and I'm going to scoot it down just a little bit because the flowers will actually go outside of the Stitched So Sweetly die. So see, they're going to go up here. I love when things like pop out like that. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so I'm going to also put dimensionals on here. I know, it's like, don't get so excited. It's just cardstock. You don't have to have a conniption. Okay, so let's see here. So we're going to put these here. Now, it's up to you. I'm only using one layer. If you wanted it to really pop, okay, so I'm not going to send this to anybody because I'm going to be a hog and keep it. So I'm going to put another layer of dimensionals just to show you the difference between this one and the one I did before, where I just did one, you know, just so you can get an idea. So, all right. So that's going to go on here. And I just basically touch, you know, make it touch that, make it touch the jar. All right, so then you can fiddle fart around with that bow, like I said I was going to. Twine would look good on here too. The linen thread would look cute. Some of our ribbons would as well. I just chose the white baker's twine. Now this is the hello from that stamp set that I was talking about, Mom. This one, the best year, because we were saying it has a Happy Father's Day and a to the world you are dad, to me you are the world. But they don't have anything that just says Mom. So, but I said this one is good for you and every thoughtful thing you do. So anyways, okay, so I already stamped my hello. And I'm just going to use my scissors and just kind of come as close to that as possible, keeping it straight. But then I'm going to make a fishtail. So to make a fishtail, you come up to the center and then you just go over to the center. And that makes your fishtail. Okay? Then I couldn't decide where I wanted to put it. I was going to put it up in here, but then I decided I wanted to put it here so it looked like it was a little tag hanging. So I'm just going to use a glue dot. Oh, what's going on over here? I'm totally like engrossed in the card. Oh, Mom. Oh, it's taken me a while. I do love a French manicure. But you know how anal I am, Mom, and they're not perfect, so they're really driving me nuts. Like if you could see them up close, they don't look as good as I like, but hey. All right, so there. So look how cute. Look how stinking cute that is. So it looks like a little tag that's hanging on there. So let me show you the other card. All right, so here's the one I did before. So this one, I also chose, this was light night of navy. So I liked the Bermuda a little bit better. It seemed to go with the sprinkles. I also added, which I still need to do, and these are also still available, the cute little ladybug trinkets. I so wished that these had have carried over, because we could have ladybugs. We don't have to get rid of the ladybugs. We could have kept them. But we do have the butter or the bee. But you can't get the bees right now. But you can get the ladybugs. So I'm going to put a ladybug trinket on my flower like that. So here you can see the difference. So this is 2. Can you see the difference? So this is the 2 layer. So it's just a little bit closer to the jar. And here is the 1 layer. So it pops a little bit more. I love that. But look at how cute this is. So then I could decide, look how fun this paper would be. So this is some of that same paper. So I might do another one and just do the exact same card. And I already have my pieces cut for the inside, I thought. Oh no, that's just another piece of that. But this would be cute as well. Don't you think? With the same thing. So I thought I might play around, and I might choose like a different flower, because this I wanted to use the yellow because it was a sunflower, but this has got the like the pool party and stuff like that. So like those could be pool party, or even like the tulips, because this has got such cute stuff in the set. So we'll see. I was having so much fun with it. So so there you go. How about that? Did you like that? I'm glad. So, and I still love it when Mom pops on here. So yeah, so I will put the ingredients down below, and now I'm trying to think. Oh, because yeah, now I can. Oh, and one thing I need to do, I do need to see how I didn't attach the top. So what I'll do is, with my scissors or my pick tool, I'll just get some glue dots, and then I'll just lift that and stick a glue dot in there and stick that together. Does that make sense? Because it's really just adhered around the jar right now. So I do that. I don't want to do it while I'm doing the jar, because if that were to grab before the jar, then I would have trouble. So it's a lot easier to add that adhesive to your 2 layers after you know your jar is where it needs to be. So anyways, all right, so I will stop blabbing, and if you have any questions in regards to the new catalog or anything I showed you here, please let me know. I don't want you to be confused or frustrated, and I will see you tomorrow for my What Ya Making Wednesdays, and that's at I get confused at the times too. That's at 2 o'clock Arizona time, and that is on my YouTube channel. So who knows what I'm gonna do? Who knows? All right, I'll stop blabbering for real. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, night.